Today's recipe is Two Vinegar Chicken, based on a classic New York Times recipe from over 20 years ago. Our Rotisserie Chicken version uses staples I always keep around, and it's super easy and always popular. One of the main goals here at the Stone Cottage is to live comfortably on a budget. Since the average American family spends roughly $270 at the grocery store each week, with children, the average rises to $332 a week. A terrific place to watch our money is in the kitchen. Each day during the month of February, I'll be using the $4.99 Costco Rotisserie Chicken as a springboard for a wide variety of easy, inexpensive, delicious meals that are generally very healthy. I feed 3 adults and can usually get at least 3 meals plus lunches out of one bird. Tune in every day this month for a new recipe. Here are the simple ingredients. Things that I keep around all the time. Of course, obviously, we're starting with our rotisserie chicken. Onions, garlic, some fresh tomatoes, our 2 vinegars, some red wine vinegar, some white wine vinegar, olive oil, and an inexpensive white wine. I won't get one that's like $2 or $3 a bottle. As opposed to cooking wine. Cooking wine has salt in it, so you can control the salt better if you use just an inexpensive wine. This recipe calls for a little cream. I have been known to substitute evaporated milk out of my pantry. We're ready to go. Okay, here's my huge chicken, and I have taken off, I've just removed one of the breasts. And this is the portion that I've removed. I probably eat less meat than most people. I'm not vegetarian or vegan by any stretch, but I don't eat huge quantities. And this will easily make 3 or 4 portions. I've said the quantity is variable, so if you like a lot of chicken, put a lot of chicken in it. But I'm just going to break this into some nice pieces. I'm not going to chop it because I want it to look a little more organic than that. So we'll just pull it apart here. That piece of chicken made that pile of kind of shredded chicken. So pretty good. Okay, just using my basic cast iron skillet, heating up my couple of tablespoons. I don't measure things. I tend to kind of fly by the seat of my pants. So heating up my oil, I've chopped 1/2 cup of onions. Once the onions are starting to look translucent, I'm going to add in my 2 garlic cloves that I have chopped up. I don't want them to cook as long as the onions, so we'll cook those a little bit longer here. Once the onions and the garlic are starting to caramelize a little bit, I add a quarter cup of red wine vinegar, quarter cup of white wine vinegar, and a 1/2 cup of my inexpensive little white wine. If you don't want to use wine in your cooking, don't have any, or don't choose not to cook with wine, that's fine. Just increase your chicken stock by a 1/2 cup, and that'll be fine too. Now I'm going to cook this until it is reduced, which just means I want there to be half as much fluid in there as there is right now. So I'm going to leave that on for 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, so you can see my fluid is very much reduced. At this point, I'm going to add my 2 cups of tomatoes. And I'm going to add my chicken stock. Now, if you need instant bouillon, better than bouillon, which they sell this in a comparable product at the grocery store. These huge ones come from Costco. They're only like $3 or something. They're pretty inexpensive. And I can add a teaspoon of this to a cup of water and instantly have stock. So that's what I'm going to do today. Okay, so here's my teaspoon of stock in there, my better than bouillon. I'm just going to stir that around. And I'm going to let this cook until the tomatoes start to kind of disintegrate a little bit. That's what we're going to be looking for, that they're cooking and they're getting mushy and turning into our sauce. Okay. This has cooked down enough. It's starting to feel a little more sauce-like. So at this point, I'm going to add a third cup of cream. It's a heavy cream, or if you just are working out of your pantry, an evaporated milk can be substituted too. Changes flavor a little bit, but heck, if you have it on hand, don't make a trip to the store. So I'm going to return that to a little bit of a boil here. I'm going to add in the chicken. Turn down my heat a little bit because my chicken's already cooked and I don't want it to cook anymore. I'm going to stir in my chicken. Now I have my pot of water over here boiling, ready to make some pasta. So if I want to serve dinner in the next few minutes, I can continue to allow this to simmer just a little bit so the flavor gets in the chicken. And looks like my water's starting to boil. So I'm going to cook some pasta. This can be served over rice or pasta. The preferred pasta is a tubular pasta, because that way the sauce can get into the little tube and you get more sauce and it's tastier. Okay, the pasta's done. Just wanted to show you this, and this is the one chicken breast, and you can see how full of chicken this is. So it's not like we're scrimping. We've got a lot of chicken in there. Okay, let's add the pasta. Okay, there's our penne pasta. Now I am not quite ready for dinner at this point in time. My crew's not home yet, so I'm going to turn the heat off. So heat's off, and I'm going to put the lid on it. Now as you look at it, you'll probably see there's a lot of fluid in there. But if I leave it for a little while, that pasta is going to absorb a lot of the fluid, and this will look really creamy. So we'll come back after I've made a salad and set the table and gotten everything ready and everybody's all home, and we'll see what it looks like. Two Vinegar Chicken is easy enough to be a weeknight meal, but sophisticated and delicious enough to serve company. We have 28 more recipes. It's a leap year. Main dishes, soups, stews, salads, and sandwiches. Some are as simple to make as peanut butter sandwiches. Others can be made ahead of time. Some can be made in large batches and frozen, with menus from all over the world in different regions here in the U.S. I have even adapted one of my favorite special occasion meals. I'll show you that for Valentine's Day. Just like in decorating and gardening, you don't have to spend lots of money to have a rich lifestyle.